Hi, you join me on the floor where I usually do my makeup anyway. This is a quick little rosy pink makeup look that I've been loving on the weekends or when I got something quite special on. Okay, let's get started. First off, headband. That might look a little funny, but I feel like that's the only way it keeps the headband on. This is my go-to. It is a primer. Really like it. I like that it has a bit of a tint. I like that it has SPF. And yeah, it really is a 10-in-1 and I find it works perfectly, especially with the foundation and stuff that I use, because I've read somewhere that you have to pair oil-based with oil-based and water-based with water-based. And then I use Lancome's Tint Idol Ultra Wear All Cover Concealer. This shade is actually never ivory. Yeah, just ivory. I guess that's the shade. Cool. And I usually do one there. Oops, that was a bit much. I usually do a little tab on the inside. Tab on the inside. I tend to do, sometimes I get like a bit of red in the middle of my, so I do there, then I sometimes do the nose, just because that goes a bit red as well, and then, just a bit of my chin, because I always feel like my chin is a very reactive piece of my skin, which I know has to do with hormones. Hormones is the chin. Then I usually take my little, what do you call this? Sponge. I actually need to get a new one. It's quite gross. Sorry for showing it to you. But a little sponge. I use the little tip of the sponge, and that's how I like to blend the concealer. Concealer, and then the other side I'll use the foundation for. My pride and joy. Lancome's Tint Idol Ultra Wear. This was probably the most expensive piece of makeup I've ordered. Probably the concealer as well. But this foundation, you can see it's actually getting quite empty. No, is the best thing. I also don't use a lot of it because I feel like a lot goes a long way, especially with Lancome. Absolute. Don't want to waste it now. I'm so protective of it, so I've just put in a little bit of a squeeze so that I can get the most out of it. Do some dots there. But this just again helps my skin look amazing. Obviously if I'm doing a full glam I'd do a lot more than this, but see how far we can get with one pump. Okay. I think that is pretty far for one pump of foundation and obviously concealer. So that's my trusty Lancome and Tint Idol. Then for my eyebrows, eyebrow pencil in the shade brown. Then moving on to blush is Wet n Wild Bed of Roses. A little look like you've been kissed by the sun on the nose. Essence Gimme Glow Luminous Highlighter, and the shade is 10 Glowy Champagne. I also take a little bit on my eyes, and I do a little bit on my nose. I have been using the Essence Nude Edition eyeshadow palette. Mostly on the outside corner of my eyelid. same on the other side. And then I tend to take a bit of a shimmer on the days that I feel like doing something a bit extra, so usually this, and I put it a little bit more in. I use the lighter shade in this palette, which is, I don't know what color that is, but it is quite that one. And I tend to close my eyes as I'm doing it, while still trying to see, which is a miracle. Then I also take some on the top where I put some highlighter. And there we go. Then I'll go back in with this guy. And then I am going to do the Lash Princess mascara, and it's this turquoise one. This one is False Lash Effect mascara. Second to my Lancome, my most prized possession, and this isn't even that expensive. This is your average loose powder. It is Yardley's translucent loose powder, and yeah, it goes with everything because it's translucent, but it is the best thing ever. It looks like this. Love Yardley's translucent. Such a nice effect on my skin. That is Yardley's little powder. And then for lip, I use Essence Matte Comfort Liner. What shade is this? You join me a few hours later. Where my camera cut out is exactly what I need to reapply to my face now anyway, so it kind of works out. My camera ran out of battery or storage, I don't know, but I sorted both out now, so let's go. I put on the Essence 8-Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade 04 Rosy Nude. After I've lined my lips, I then go over with a Catrice matte lipstick, and I believe the shade is Rosey Seduction 040. There we go. And then to seal everything off, I use Rimmel's Lasting Finish Fix and Go. I don't really use it as a primer, but it is a 2-in-1 primer and setting spray. I love it as a setting spray. Let's do. So there you have it. That is the rosy pink makeup look that I have been loving lately. Everything is coincidentally all rose named, all the products anyway. It is a quick little rosy pink makeup look that I've been loving on the weekends or when I got something quite special on. Nice!